So these are some of my thoughts on troll channels, parody channels, and news channels, and why they're not all the same. For starters, the first rule of trolling is to retain anonymity. So the minute they give up anonymity, you can no longer call somebody a troll. The parody channels and the news channels may say things that me or you disagree with. They may say things that are just flat out douchey. Sometimes for humor's sake, sometimes to be an asshole. But that doesn't make them trolls. That just makes them assholes. And I know better than most people, assholes. Because I am one. All of these channels have their places on YouTube. The troll channels, and even ones that don't have any content, that just comment, not only do they increase interaction with our videos, even a thumbs down is interaction. Commenting, thumbs up, YouTube doesn't care. If they see people watching and interacting, it pushes it further up in the algorithms. But in addition to that, a lot of times, a lot of what the trolls say, as you guys all know, is just complete bullshit, and it's so far-fetched it's not even slightly believable. And you can take it humorously like I do, even if that's not how it was intended. As long as it makes me laugh, it's humorous to me. Or you can get butthurt about it, or you can ignore it. But sometimes these troll channels will tell us things that we need to hear. I've always been a big guy. I'm always kind of fat. That's why I can make fat jokes. And I'm not bothered by anybody telling me I'm fat. But if a troll channel comes on and says, "Wow, man, you're getting fatter," I might actually listen to them for a second. And hold on, I've got to pause this. I heard a loud banging. I think a car just pulled up and shut its door. Oh, I don't know what the heck that was. Whatever it wasn't for me. There's only a few other vehicles out there, and nothing was close enough to make that loud of a bang, so I don't know what I heard. Anyways, if a troll comment comes in and says, "Man, you've gotten a lot fatter," or they might say it a lot meaner than that, "Wow, you fucking fat fucker, I don't know how whatever. I'm not going to come up with insults right now for myself, but you get the point. I might actually step back and say, maybe I am. Look at myself, go weigh myself, and, well, maybe I should eat a little less. Or maybe I say something that's like really douchey. Like, I wouldn't call somebody's kid ugly, but say I did. Say I'm walking by and I think it's funny, and I'm like, wow, that's an ugly kid. And then later somebody says, that's kind of a mean thing to say. The last thing you want to do is criticize somebody's kids. Then I might think, you got kind of a good point there. Maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. Again, not everything the trolls say is honest, but when they do have honest criticisms, they can be very helpful if you learn to listen, just like you would anybody else. Now, people that you know and people that you like and people who don't have anonymity, they're a lot less likely to tell us these things that sometimes we need to hear, because they don't want to, come off as mean, or they don't want you to be butthurt at them for whatever reason. So that's where the trolls are really helpful with their anonymity. They can sometimes help us to check ourselves by, pointing out certain things that maybe we need to think about. The news channels are extremely helpful because, well, a lot of times, I like to watch a lot of people on YouTube. But when I'm traveling and I spend all day traveling and I, pass out, sometimes I get backed up on my videos and I can't watch everything. So I go to the news channels like Dave Hughes, and he'll kind of give me the rundown of what's going on. And if he shows me some clips from somebody's video that seems really good, then I'll try to watch that one. And if it just seems like the same normal stuff, then maybe I'll save it for later. But in addition to that, he's helped me to find more channels, like the parody channels that I'm now watching. Now, I've always watched vlogger puppets, and you can't really call him a troll, even though people do, but he's not a troll, he's just an asshole like me. And there's a place on earth for us. Some of us need to be assholes. Some of us need to be able to tell you these things without using anonymity. That's why some of us don't have filters. I could give two shits if YouTube demonetizes this video because I said fuck or shits or whatever. What am I gonna do? Lose a fucking $1.50 over the next year? Like, I give a shit. Anyways, so the news channels, look at that vein just popping out there. You think I've been working out? No. But because of Dave's channel, his news channel, I found other parody channels like the Swedes and now Mark Fun Jones. And because of their channels, I'm finding other interesting channels that I'm now watching because they've done parodies of different channels. But all of these people have their place in YouTube, and they're all helpful in their own way. And the fact that they make me laugh, well, that's probably the number one reason I watch the parody channels. It's weird, like, I can watch a lot of different YouTubers. I do watch a lot of different YouTubers. But say tomorrow I want to go tell one of my friends or neighbors or family members, oh, did you hear what Dave said this morning? Or did you see the joke Swedes made yesterday? Or did you see Eric knocked his tooth out? These people are just gonna like, what? Who? Huh? They don't know who I'm talking about. The parody channels and the news channels kind of fill that desire to want to discuss the things that entertain me with other people. Because it's a small circle of us. And these news channels and parody channels know the people that I watch and follow. Even if they don't necessarily like them, or even if I don't always agree with the things that they think about them, I'm just happy to have somebody else that's talking about, things that I watch, things that interest me. I could go out tomorrow and watch the, new Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and anybody's going to know what I'm talking about afterwards. Even if they haven't seen it, they've seen the 100 commercials an hour on TV for the last couple weeks. But it's not the same with the YouTube nomading world. It's a small community, and it's just nice to have other people discussing the people that entertain me. I don't know. Does that make sense to anybody? I mentioned the tooth thing with Eric. I don't have many teeth, so I'm allowed to make tooth jokes. Just like I'm fat, so I'm allowed to make fat jokes. And I'm not really that bald. I just hate hair. It makes me so uncomfortable. I got some balding going up around here on both sides, but I've still got hair up to here on the front. But my hair is super curly, and it just bugs the shit out of me. If it gets long enough to where it starts curling over, oh my gosh. And the same with if my mustache touches my upper lip, it's got to come off. I can't. If my beard touches my chest, So I keep a pair of hair trimmers, and every couple of weeks I just, military style, just buzz all that shit right off. I don't know. These are just my thoughts for today. I don't know why I even made this video, but I think most people will get what I'm saying. Some people might need a little clarification. All of these different players in the YouTube world, they all have their places. They all have their reasons. And just like we've all told, the trolls so many times, the same thing goes for us about these channels. If you don't like them, don't watch them. It's that simple. And if you hate them and you're watching them because you hate them, well, that's fine too. Just know that when you complain about it, it comes off kind of whiny, because everybody knows that if you don't like them, you cannot watch them. And if you're hating just to hating, that's kind of a bitchy, whiny thing to do. It really is, and you know it is. But you don't care either, or else you wouldn't be doing it. I do it too sometimes, on different social media platforms, and even YouTube. There's certain things I don't like, and I'll still watch it anyway, because, well, that's not really true. I don't really hate on anybody, but there are things that I don't necessarily like, and I'll watch them anyway, because I want to hear what they say. But then I'm not going to go whine about that specific thing to anybody because it just comes off kind of bitchy. I don't know. This whole video is kind of bitchy, isn't it? Yeah, what can I say? I like to bitch about stuff. I try to keep my bitchiness off of YouTube as much as possible. But sometimes some things just need to be said. And again, that's where the trolls can be useful sometimes, because not many people are like me where they'll just say what they think. A lot of people won't say what they think because they're worried it might, offend somebody. And these anonymous troll accounts, they don't care if they offend anybody. That's sometimes actually even their whole purpose. So do whatever you want. Don't let anybody tell you you can't. And just remember, YouTube is for entertainment. And as long as you're being entertained, that's all that really matters.